Back here with another edition of the Down and Back with CornDoug. This week, probably would have already got my recap of the Vegas National. Go back and look at it. If you're listening to the audio version, it is a YouTube only, so go back over to YouTube. Listen to that. It's about 20 minutes long. You don't have to sit and watch me talk for that long. That's all that is. But again, just great performances by Brandon, Tracy, Bernie, and that Jamie Cowan guy. Yeah, even though he may have had his issues trying to get on the plane. But that's how Jamie rolls. But anyway, so this week, another fun show. We go international one more time. Alex Vercoe, Daniel Irvine from down under Australia. They're going to be on talking about how they played and what they thought of the Australia versus Canada virtual tournament that was going on, and just some of the stuff that they have going on down there. They've got their growth has been pretty steep the last little bit. So we talk about cornhole down there. Other than that, there hasn't been many stuff going on. We got a lot of new leagues starting to pop back up again as we get out of this. I think today here, if you're watching Monday, getting the show a little bit late. Restrictions kind of went a little less, and I'm hearing within a couple weeks we should be back full go. So that will be pretty good. Other than that, not a whole lot of other news. Look for me possible stateside. End of March, possibly. I will be appearing at a conference tournament. Yes, as far as I know, it's fingers crossed as long as everything works out. I will be at a conference tournament somewhere down in the U.S. I won't say which one yet, but I may be there. So, if I haven't mentioned already, which I probably haven't, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the show. I think where is it? Somewhere over here is the subscribe little red thing. Hit that bell if you want to know exactly when stuff pops up. New shows come up. As again, liking the show, give it a share if you like it or not. And then, as always, good, bad, ugly, I don't care. Leave a comment in the section what you think of the show. It's all how I know. I don't need a third party. I just need you to let me know what you're thinking of the show. To what you think I can do better. It's probably a lot of stuff. Anything you think I'm doing right, which could be some stuff. I don't know. But whatever, just let me know. If you're on the audio side, keep downloading. It's I think I'm bound to double the audio downloads I had last year, which is fantastic. And I will talk about it again here on the Friday show. But if you're in Europe, keep downloading. I'm not. It's been crazy. I'm thinking I looked. I was probably about looking around. Almost a quarter of the downloads coming out of Europe. So Cornhole getting big there. ACL going worldwide. If you want to find out any ACL stuff, I can let you know here with what's going on, because there's been a lot of great people over there who've been on the show, and some more that are going to keep coming on. So other than that, I don't know if you really need me to talk about anything else. It's only it hasn't been that long. It's just a little open to talk to Mr. Alex Vercoe and Daniel Irvine from Australia. So here is my little conversation with the men from down under. Here we go. As promised, we've got the men from down under, Mr. Alex Vercoe and Daniel Irvine. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, good, Doug. Thanks for having us on.
Well, no problem. Well, I had talked to Daniel Turner. I was like, was there any guys that were in the Canada versus U.S. Canada versus Aussie. I'm so used to saying U.S. Canada versus Australia tournament. He's like, oh yeah, I got a couple perfect guys to come on and talk with you about how they did. So I was like, let's give her.
It's probably more of a stitch up, I think. But yeah, no, we can do the job, I think.
Yep. So, my big question with everyone is because I know with me and most of our other guys is everyone went to the States, picked up the game of cornhole, but how did you guys, I guess, stumble into the game of cornhole, or how did you find out about it?
We blame Alex for this. So we're from a small town in Queensland, so probably 6 or 7 hours drive from Brisbane, if people know where Brisbane is. And so it's a smaller town, and the amount of people starting to play cornhole is obviously growing. But yeah, I'll let Alex tell the story of how we got into it, because we are all blaming him. So he's turned us all into fanatics. So
yeah, we're all addicted. It was actually just by chance. We were having a bit of a social New Year's Eve party, and my wife hired some games from the local community hall, and one of them happened to be this board with the holes in it, and we're all pretty competitive sort of social group, and we just took to it. And as soon as there was points involved and a bit of competition, we slowly figured it out, and then started to put a winner for each night, and just started having fun with it, and it sort of evolved from there. We just got addicted, and we kept playing. It's a great family game, like all our kids, and that's what's good about it. You don't have to be full competitive all the time, as much as we are, but you can also have a throw with the wife and the kids, and it's a good family sort of game as well. So yeah, that's about how it all started, really.
Definitely. So yeah, we're blaming Alex, Doug. He hired these boards. We started playing, a few beers, turned into a pretty intense competition, and I think within about a week, Alex, is this right? We started making boards. Everyone had their own set of boards. So looked up the specs online, looked up the ACL specs. Yeah, made the boards, got some stickers made, got the polyurethane paint, all the rest of it. And then we're on a search for who makes pro bags in Australia. Was the next step.
I think shortly after that, coincidentally, we it was really random actually. Our town, an Irish bar here had a bit of marketing, and they said, "Oh, we're having a big cornhole competition," and we just went, "Wow, this is us!" So we put a big group in, and Dan ended up winning it actually. So that was the first prize money we sort of won, $500 there, and from then we just kept going and kept looking for more competitive sort of things we could do with it.
Yeah. Well, it seems like that's the thing with everybody. It's like you start playing, you get addicted, and alcohol is involved. Almost in every story I hear people, they start playing.
Great game to have a beer with.
Oh, exactly. Well, for me, it was like I tell a story. It was at NASCAR and down the southern states, and it was addicting. And then there's a whole bunch of moonshine involved, so it was just I kind of don't remember that first night that much, but it's and then nobody up here played, so I was like from 2011 to 2017 where I would just play it for one weekend, and then all of a sudden we had the one tournament up here, and now everyone's kind of hooked. So it was like I now no longer was that weird guy that played this cornhole game, and now everyone else is playing it. And like you said, you throw one bag and you become addicted just because of that whole competition feel.
That's right. Yeah. And
definitely
everyone we speak to, you say, "Oh, I'm playing cornhole now. Come around, we'll play some cornhole, we'll throw some bags," and they're like, "What the bloody hell is cornhole?" Like, I think you're a bit odd, but once they start playing, they then they're always saying, "Oh, are we playing? Are we having a game?" And so
yep, you can't go to a barbecue now without bringing boards and bags and all the rest of it. Another cool thing we've started. We work in heavy industry, and we've started a few team bonding days. We've kicked off cornhole games, so pretty cool to see people that have never played before get pretty competitive and get right into it. So everyone asks, where do we buy bags? Where do we buy boards? So it's it's definitely kicking off everywhere you go in Australia.
Well, so so you do at the workplaces out there. So do you guys have other leagues that have kind of popped up then as well too, like a regular league night?
Not so much a league night where we are. Other places in Australia, so Perth Cornhole League have kicked off. I think there's a Newcastle Cornhole League kicking off as well. The Queensland Cornhole competition with Bill C. He's getting regular competitions going as well. But over the past few months, or probably a year even, we've really had restrictions in the the COVID restrictions. So COVID-19 sort of played a part on that. A lot of us can't really travel too far. So a lot of it has been virtual for now. So Dan Turner from the ACA, he's kicked off the competitions that we had leading up to the Canada contest. The guys at Australian Cornhole Association are throwing up comps. We've got Keegan from Rampage Cornhole throwing up prize bags for the winners, all this sort of stuff. So I think for the last 12 months, it's really been tailored towards the online stuff, the virtual comps, so the deck around scores. But I think over the next 12 months, 2 years, we'll really see some leagues popping up, and I think they'll be strong.
So then, going into the virtual game, because I know my feelings on the virtual game, but what was yours? Or I guess what would your preference being, for lack of a better term? I know everyone likes playing live with playing on someone else, but what's your thoughts on the virtual game of just playing the 10 ends with the deck around by yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely a very different dynamic to the regular game, as you're aware. Like, I'd never been live on anything to do with the internet before getting into these virtual sort of games and that. And it's just interesting how that virtual pressure can be a factor. And yeah, it's more just there's no variables. You don't have any other bags to sort of bump off or use. It's just you got to have that line and length right. And if you don't, and you're off, and you're not on, then you can have a pretty embarrassing night. Or if you're on, they slip, they all go in. So, or a lot of them go in. So it's a different dynamic for sure. I enjoy it. It's a challenge. It's like more of an individual challenge, obviously, but I like it. I reckon there's a space for it moving forward. Like, I think just in the digital era that we're in, I think that there's a space for it. Definitely. Like, we love the Canada and playing abroad. There's no reason why we can't keep doing interesting sort of things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it grows the market in Australia almost. Like, the leagues are still popping up, so it's difficult to go join a club with a lot of people, where online you can play against as many people as you like. Everyone's joining the comps. It's sort of growing the game at the stage that it's at in Australia.
Well, and that was the same thing we found out here, because we were kind of, I don't want to say that we were stalled in the amount of people that played, but then once COVID kind of hit and people couldn't go anywhere, it was almost a perfect game for people to play, being able to kind of, not want to say isolate, but just be alone and not have to be in those big kind of groups of people and still be able to play kind of some sort of game against someone else.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's only doing things to grow the sport, and I think on the back of that, as more people start playing in their sheds or in their backyards and streaming it live, I think you'll see more and more people join these leagues as they start to grow.
Yeah, I think we're only scratching the surface for whatever talent is going to come out of Australia. Like, it's very new, and that's why we're trying to get more and more exposure through Facebook groups and because Australia's a vast country, but we're trying to figure out. We played a round robin with ACA with Dan Turner to see who qualified, who was lucky enough to play well to get in that initial squad or whatever. But that's not to say that there's probably players we don't even know about, maybe that could very well have been in that, had an opportunity in the future or whatever. So yeah, we're always trying to grow the game here in Australia, and a virtual is a good way of doing it.
Yep.
Well, I kind of see you guys as the same place that we were in, probably up here in Canada, probably about like 4 years ago, where it's still that new game. You're growing, and I think you guys are right. You kind of joined in almost like at the right time, because it has kind of blown up and being more people playing. So I think you guys are kind of like on the right path, and you're kind of far more ahead of than what we were at this point. So I'm thinking it's just, you guys are just, sky's the limit for you guys.
For sure. It's really exponential, Alex, really, the growth that we're seeing, and the amount of people that are now watching videos and things on Cornhole is awesome. So can only go up from here. and the stock we produce and the players that played and ended up in the Australian team. I mean, we had an average of 65.4.
Yeah.
So not enough to beat Canada with an average of 75, but definitely on our way up. You know, we had PBs in there from many of us. We're a competitive bunch, so we put our best foot forward.
Well, another thing, I guess it's lucky for Canada that I wasn't playing because I'm a little below that. Probably a lot below that, but still. And even we talk about the Canada Australia thing, and I talked with Matt Plow, the national director up here, and at the start of that tournament, the scores were pretty. There was a good distance between the two scores, but as that went on, you guys kind of like your game just started getting better and better and better, which is, I think it's all credit to you guys. But I think if it came down, he said, I think it's like 1.01, like the difference in the game. So like you guys started to make it closer, and it was it was more exciting than what people thought it may have been.
Yeah, definitely. We were in the mix.
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't really know exactly what sort of competition we'd be playing. Like it was only really when it started to come round on the Cornhole and that we recognised a few names, and they were ACL, and maybe at the start we were a bit, off our guard a bit, but I think we sort of stepped up in true Aussie fashion and had a good crack, and I think we can hold our heads pretty high. Like I said, we've only really been playing for a year or two here, or some even less. So, I think we held a pretty good account of ourselves. Yeah, it was great experience to see what level and what averages, you guys are at. Seeing people like, I think it was Dean Lang throw 100 or stuff like that.
103, I think it was, for Dean.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. So it was really cool to see. Another important thing I think is to mention is the clash and the polar opposite in weather. Obviously, you guys are throwing in really cold conditions, and the board's obviously pretty fast. And whereas we're in our summer here, we're in peak Queensland summer, so a lot of the time our boards are hit and miss as well. It depends on the humidity of the day, and so some of us were throwing in. I mean, you guys had conditions to deal with, and we have the heat and the slower boards.
I mean, those guys were throwing in snow. Yeah, a lot of the Canadians were throwing in 3 foot of snow, which is unheard of. But I mean, on the other end of it, I mean, I put the temp in my shed on one of the days there, and it was 42 degrees Celsius. I was absolutely sweating. So it's big contrast. But the Canadian guys, they got their rounds done. A few of them digging holes in the snow so they could run their tape measure. Like, I mean, that's commitment. Yeah, they were in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, I know there's been a couple other virtual tournaments come up since that now where you have to play outside, and I'm like, that's fine. You guys can go and do those tournaments. I don't need to do them. I'll just sit and watch you guys play because I don't need to be throwing in the snow. I'm bad enough in a regular condition than these those conditions.
For sure.
Yeah, we're lucky some of us have got some sheds. A lot of the properties up here have got decent sheds on them, so we're lucky enough in a way to throw inside without wind and stuff. But it's also hot and creates a bit of slower boards. So
definitely.
Yeah. So now you talked about the ramp. I know you guys got the Rampage bags down there. So do they have like the different materials and stuff on them, or are they just kind of one like a stick and slick?
Totally different materials, yeah. So Keegan, if anyone out there, if you want to look up some good Australian bags, he's at Rampage Cornhole, so you can get him on Facebook. He's been kind enough to sponsor me in the last month or so to give us a few bags and that sort of stuff to help sort of grow his brand. But I mean, the bag quality is awesome. I've got a couple of Reynolds bags, I think they are originally, and right up there with Rampage is really nipping at his heels. So he makes, I think it's 4 different types, all different speeds. All the specs are on his Facebook page, but definitely give him a yell. He's up and coming. He started making bags in May 21. He's yeah, he's up to a couple hundred bags sold now. He's trying to work with Brandon Brown, sorry, in Canada to help grow the brand as well, and then get the ACL stamp in later this year. So big things happening for Keegan at Rampage, and a champion guy too. Like he makes comment on every video. He encourages everybody. I think he's teaching his neighbour at the moment how to play cornhole. So I'll Gazza, shout out to Gazza if he does watch this. A week ago he threw a 45 or something, or 46 or something, Alex. And I saw last night he threw a 73. So he's on a virtual live video. So he's obviously doing something right there. But yeah, Keegan, he's kicking goals with his bags, and I think it's only a matter of time before you guys start to see him over there. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, and I'll put a link down below in the info section of the video here, just out there. And if he's throwing a 44 or 48, like you said there, he's still kicking my ass. So it's there's nothing more humbling than throwing a 29 on a video where a whole bunch of people are watching, and it's just
Oh yeah, and you can't stop either. You can't turn it off.
No.
Yeah, I've been up Alex actually. He's had a bit of a form slump. He's down in the 40s there for a few rounds, so he's been up his ribs a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of that comes down to I need to work on my consistency for sure, but trying new bags and still trying to work out what my natural throwing styles that I'm completely 100% happy with, and so I think I threw the odd 70 every now and then, but I'm trying to work on being more consistent and just keeping a decent score more often rather than just hit and miss. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing that I find when we have new people up here playing, is that they think it's like, oh, I'm just going to step up to the board, I'm going to throw the bag, it's easy, it's only 27 feet, I can put it in the hole anytime. Do you have any people that have come up like that? Where like you got to, I don't know if it's humbling them is the word, but just letting them throw in and see that it's not as easy as you think it is.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Australian way is to sort of have a go, and most people sort of walk up to a cornhole board and think, yeah, it's easy. Yeah, just throw a bag and it lands in the hole. But they soon find out there's a little bit in it, and but there's not many people that shy away from the challenge as well. Quite often you'll see people sticking at it and keep going until they can get that first 4-bagger or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm. Well, and my other thing is, and I kind of keep giving Timothy Pitcher, a former ACL pro, credit for this year, is he was on the show and said, when playing cornhole, it's almost like there's some people that are playing checkers, some people are playing chess, because you get that game where you're going bag for bag in the hole and you're just playing checkers, or you're dirtying up the board, putting a blocker up, and you're kind of bringing that chess element into the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely strategies to play, and that's when you're playing someone live. That's the fun thing about it. If they're starting to get a bit of momentum or a bit of ascendancy, you can throw some annoying bags in the lane and change the pace of the game. Yeah. We have some similar sports here in Australia. I don't know if you probably obviously don't have lawn bowls, which is another game that is it has a weighted ball.
Yep.
And it's all about that length and touch and getting it near the jack, essentially similar to curling.
Yep.
So it's one of them games where you need to work out your line, your length, your weight of the bag. There's a lot to it when you start to get into it.
Well, and the other thing now is cornhole always has their own slang. And I kind of in our talks before, I said up here we have 4-baggers stuck in the beaver, which some people still like to make fun of. But is there any Australian cornhole slang that you guys have kind of come up with?
It's got to be bags, mate. That's sort of the number one thing we say. Someone sinks a hole, gets a cornhole. It's always bags, mate. So
bags.
Good bags, yeah.
And like a nice, we'll always throw props to a nice stovepipe, and
stovepipes, yeah.
Stovey, and Yeah, but overall, we probably just sound like a bunch of like ocean birds saying bags, bags, bags. all day.
Well, I think there's some of us that'll wake up like that too. That you just start you start dreaming of playing cornhole in your sleep because you haven't been able to play live so much. You're just waking up saying that. But and I've talked with a couple weeks ago. Trey was on the show, and Trey Ryder from the ACL, and he kind of hinted that you guys might be getting a big event down in Australia with the ACL, maybe bringing the whole. I don't want to say the ACL circus to town, but that's could be what it is when you get to meet some of these guys. But how big would that be for Australia to have like the ACL bring the show down there?
I think it would be huge. You've got the potential here. It's a growth area. People love competition. People enjoy the game. People are picking up the game. If ACL was to come to Australia and hold an event, I mean, yeah, you'd have the people show up for sure.
You'd sell it out, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah,
well, I have heard that rumor, so that's sort of you might be confirming that rumor, Doug. Is that right?
Well, he kind of said something a bit on the show. He kind of said something that they're coming to Canada here as well too, but we haven't heard the actual confirmation of that because they do. I know they do want to go kind of global with this here, and there is. I'm not sure if there's been as much talk down there as there is up here, but everyone's just talking Olympics. So,
oh mate, it's got to be Olympic 2032.
We often joke about 2032 because we're hosting it in Brisbane. So, who knows? Like, I think there's stranger sports in the Olympics. So, I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Exactly. My only thing is the testing afterwards. Would they be allowing all the alcohol into be able to have your system?
Yeah, we can't play sober, Doug. That's the problem.
And that's the thing is, and the other thing that's funny because my regular partner, when our wives come to watch us, they kind of tell us that as the more he drinks, the worse he gets, and the more I drink, the better I get. So we're at that one kind of point where we both we get that level, and one of us goes higher, and the other one kind of drops off a bit. But that's the fun part of the game.
It's like after 8 ball. It's like if you have a few drinks, you're playing well, and if you have one more, then you're not going well. So, same thing.
But all in all, it's still fun, no matter how you do it.
Yeah, definitely. Nah, bring it on, Olympics. I think there's definitely opportunity to kick off more of these virtual comps as well. So, we've had the Australia-Canada comp. Why aren't we doing other countries that may be in the same sort of position as us at the moment, where the sport's sort of new and growing? There's an opportunity there for someone to definitely get to organise some comps.
Oh, exactly. I know. Right across Europe, it's starting to kind of. There's the growth kind of right there, which is amazing to see because they were kind of, really spread out, but now, I keep joking that I kind of said off the top of the show that somehow I've become big in France. I've got like a quarter of my downloads are in France. I'm not sure how I became popular there, but I am. So.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Right.
So I want to thank you guys for coming on, talking a little bit more of Australia Cornhole. I'll put a whole bunch of links down in the info section of the video here, and hopefully, maybe fingers crossed, we'll see the ACL circus kind of down with you guys.
Yeah, definitely, we'll be there, and definitely anyone that's coming to Australia and looking for some good cornhole matches, we're in Queensland and ready. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, so. Thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, Thank you, Doug. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
And I want to thank Alex, Daniel for doing that. I had a great, fun conversation. It was a bit of a late night here doing that, but the whole time change thing, all good. It was fun to do, and definitely having them on again once all of their stuff starts to open up. They've been kind of pretty tight as well too. But hey, it's it's just great to see it worldwide, and hopefully, like we talked about, that the traveling circus known as the ACL can come down to them. And with all the international pros and stuff, and just have like probably one of the biggest international things down there, which would be fantastic to see. So all that traveling, you need sponsors, and of course this show, you know who they are. Octane Cornhole, octanecornhole.com gets all of your needs. He's got shirts, he's got hats, jerseys are there, and there's going to be some other new stuff there soon. You can get all the team player bags. Remember, on any bags, use discount code CornDoug, get you 10% off of bags. Then when you need the new, they got some new products, earbuds and Bluetooth waterproof speaker. Head over to myearfund.com. Use discount code CornDoug, get you 20% off of anything they have on their website. I know Adam in Peterborough. Go plug for Adam in Peterborough. He uses them. He says they're great. I say they're great as well too. They last a long time. I'll use them for like 8 hours at work, and they're good. So check that. Then when you need a set of boards, head over to jccornhole.com. Jamie will help you out. Anything you need with boards, he's fantastic. Does all the artwork there himself. I know we're going to probably try and do something in the shop here pretty soon with regards to a show there. But yeah, check out there. Then when you're needing bags, and you want the bags that are coming from the U.S., but you're seeing that coming to Canada, the shipping's expensive. And then there's duty on top of that. So why not skip that? Head over to csccornhole.com. Get yourself some local bags, some all cornhole bags. You get all slides, game changers, all the fire bags. All the fire bags at csccornhole.com. Get yourself some fantastic bags there. No discount code yet, possibly coming. I'm not sure. You'll also maybe even possibly seen the CSC logo on a ACL Professional. Just saying. Then when you are in Alberta, or if you're living in Alberta, Edmonton area, let's say Sherwood Park, check out SierraHome.com. It's coming right there. Look at it, it's right there. If you look on video, it's right there. SierraHome.com. Check out Darren. He does great work there. He will help you out with any of your new home purchase, or you're looking to do any kind of renovations or whatever. Ask him to come and check your stuff out. I know he's been getting rave reviews on his Facebook page and his website. Go over there, give him a like, let him know that you heard him on this show here. Sierra Property Inspections. I know you can check out his new wrap truck. His new wrap truck that he has that it's got all his logos and stuff on it. So check Darren out there, and hopefully we'll get Darren on the show here soon just to talk about storing your boards if you're in Canada during the winter and just what to do, just all stuff like that. Or you want to change your house into the big cornhole auditorium in your basement or whatever, but you need to do renovations. We'll talk to him about that. With that's it. We got another show coming up here next week. Friday will be out talking to a guy who, I talked to him about this, that it's a show that it's like almost 2 years in the making. JD Welch from 6x6 Cornhole, or 6x6 Bags. It'll be on the show. I'm COVID. Yeah. So, other than that that's it for me. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Or if you're listening on audio, head over to the YouTube and just do that click stuff, because if you want to get in the contests, that's how you get in them. Okay, so that's it. I'm out. Another show this week. Another show done. One more show closer to the 150 downloads. Well, the 150 shows that are out that you can watch. You can sit for like days and just watch down and backs for days. I know that's what cures insomnia. Whatever. So, that's it. Remember, watch out for those guys throwing gas, because they might just kick your ass.